Hello and welcome to today's question of the day from the actual IPMAT Indore 2024 QA MCQ section. Well, today's question is from the arithmetic section, something which most students find convenient. However, in such questions, generally, if the question is easy, then that's great. But generally, when the chapter is easier, generally the questions become more trickier and challenging. So let us go through today's question and understand whether this question should have been attempted in the first go, or whether you could have attempted in the second round, or whether this question should have been skipped completely if it appears in your examination. And hence we'll see how we should have solved this question. So my approach to this question would be how? So let's read the question first. A fruit seller had a certain number of apples, bananas and oranges at the start of the day. The number of bananas was 10 more than the number of apples. While I'm reading such arithmetic questions, I keep writing or making notes. So I would simply write bananas is 10 more than apples. So bananas is a plus 10. And the total number of bananas and apples was a multiple of 11. So bananas is a plus 10 and plus apples. So 2a plus 10 is the total number of apples plus bananas, and that has to be some multiple of 11, 11x. She was able to sell 70% of the apples, 60% of the bananas and 50% of oranges during the day. If she was able to sell 55% of the fruits she had at the start of the day, then the minimum number of oranges that she had at the start of the day was. Well, this question does not appear to be easy at all. However, I'll spend 30 minutes on arithmetic questions as a rule, or rather I spend 30 minutes almost on all questions unless I identify that I don't know the question or the concept at all. I know the concept of percentages and writing equations. So I'll give this question some 30-40 seconds and then take a call whether I should attempt this question or not. But surely this is not a very straightforward question. So she was able to sell 70% of the apples plus 60% of the bananas and 50% of the oranges, and this was equal to 55% of the total fruits. What was the total number of fruits? She had A apples, B bananas and O oranges. So this was 55% of A plus B plus OR. Okay. And if I just simplify the two sides of the equation, can I see percentage is common in all the terms? So I'll cancel the percentage from both the sides. And there's also a 5 in common, but I'll simplify that later. So here you have a 70A, here you have a 55A. Can I say if A comes on the same side, it will become 15A plus 60B, 55B, I'll have 5B here, and 50 oranges, here I have 55 oranges. So I'll keep it positive. So 55 minus 50, here I'll have 5 oranges. And now if I cancel out the A, I have 3A plus B equals oranges. Okay. So this is one relation that I had, and this is another relation that I have, relation number 2. Using this, can I find out the minimum number of oranges that she had? Alright, one quick thing that I need to understand is number of apples, oranges and bananas have to be integers. So if she's selling 70% of apples, number of apples has to be a multiple of 10, because only numbers ending with a 10 or with a 0, you'll be able to take 10% or 70% without having decimal values. So that's one hint that clicks to me when I read this question. So instead of solving equations, what I realize is I'll try different values of A such that it is a multiple of 11, and I'll see which is the smallest value, because we wanted to find the minimum number of oranges. We did not want to get an see, there were 3 variables, and I think there are only there is equation number 1, there is equation number, see, it's a multiple of 11. So the second equation is not really an equation. It is just giving me that it has to be a multiple of 11. And if I want it to be the minimum multiple of, I want the minimum number to satisfy it, I'll use the relation from the third equation to get to the one specific value that 2A plus 10 can take. So the minimum value of A, which will help me satisfy 2A plus 10, is a multiple of 11. And again, keeping in mind A should be a multiple of 10. So 20 plus 10 is not 11 का multiple. 40, if I take a equal to 20, so 40 plus 10, no. I think the multiple of, see 2a would be a multiple of 10, 10 is a multiple of 10, so I need to look for a multiple of 11, which again has a 0 at the end. The smallest such number is 110. So if I consider this 11x to be 110, I'll get 2a plus 10 equal to 110, which will give me a equal to 110 minus 10, that is 100. Therefore, a would come out to be 50. I think this is the minimum value of a which can satisfy both these conditions successfully. And if I substitute this value of a in the equation for oranges, because oranges is thrice of apples plus bananas. So if I put a equal to 50 over here, the oranges would become, so the number of oranges would be 3 times of apples, that is 50 into 3, 150. And bananas are simply 10 more than apples. So bananas are 60, and therefore this would come out to be 210. I think this was a fairly doable question. See, how you judge whether you should do this question in the exam in the first go or not is that when you write this equation, are you able to find a reason? So there could be some solving that you could have done, but with this 11x, and if it didn't click to you that a has to be a multiple of 10, in that case, solving could get a little lengthy. Okay, I've not thought in the other direction as to how the answer could have been achieved without considering the hint that a has to be a multiple of 10. However, I believe that even if if you don't take that hint, it'll be a little lengthier. So if it clicks to you in the first 40-45 seconds that if a is a multiple of 10, then this only then this condition could be satisfied, and accordingly you start taking values by trial and error, only then you should go ahead and solve this question. You should not spend more than a minute in identifying whether you'll solve or not. If within 1 minute it clicks to you how you'll go about this question, you should attempt it in the first go. If it does not click in the first minute, then you should keep this question for later. Okay, so mark this question for later, and at the end of the section, if you still have time left, you can come back to this question and try brainstorming and getting to a point where you are able to, where it clicks to you that a or these numbers should be multiples of 10. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and all the best in your IPMAT preparation. Do well.